Good day, I am Teacher Len from CISSL. In this lesson, we will learn about modal verbs, nouns, and adverbs. What are those parts of speech? Why do we use them? And how do we use them? You will see the answers in this lesson. Let's go! For today's lesson, we have modal verbs, nouns, and adverbs. Our most essential learning competency is to use modal verbs, nouns, and adverbs appropriately. Let's take a look with these sentences. First one, Guillermo can recite a poem eloquently. The meeting will begin early. Question, can you identify where is the noun, where is the modal verb, and where is the adverb? But before we identify them, let's have a quick review of those parts of speech. Modal verb. Modal verb is a special type of auxiliary verb which is paired with other verbs to express ability, probability, obligation, advice, permission, and possibility. For nouns, these are naming words for people, objects, animals, places, events, and ideas. For adverb, it tells us how, where, when, and how often an action or an occurrence happens. It describes a verb, an adjective, or another verb. Again, let's take a look with these sentences. Guillermo can recite a poem eloquently. Let's identify where is the noun, the modal verb, and the adverb. Our noun is Guillermo, followed by the modal verb can, and the adverb eloquently. Next one, the meeting will begin early. Our noun is meeting, followed by the modal verb will, and our adverb is early. Now, let us further discuss the differences among modal verbs, nouns, and adverbs. For modal verbs, we have different types and its example. First one, ability. Example, can and could. Sophia can speak 3 languages. So it shows that Sophia has the ability to speak 3 different languages. Next one, permission. Can, could, would, and may could be used. Example, may I borrow your phone? Next one, advice. The modal verb to be used is should. Example, you should try to lose weight. Next one, obligation. The modal verb to be used is must. Example, we must follow rules and regulations. Next one, possibility. The modal verbs to be used are might, may, could, and can. Example, it looks nice, but it might be very expensive. Then last one, futurity. The modal verb to be used are will and shall. Example, I will see you tomorrow. So these are the types of modal verbs. The modal verbs to be used are words and how you will use them in a sentence. Let's read the following sentences. Number 1, he can run faster. Number 2, you should exercise regularly. Number 3, I might not come to the party. Now, let us identify the modal verb in each sentence. For number 1, the modal verb used is can. It says that he has the ability to run faster. For number 2, the modal verb that we used is should. It gives an advice to the person concerned. Then lastly, we use the modal verb might. It indicates a possibility whether the person can attend the party or not. Let's have a quick review of the types of noun and its use. Let's start with abstract nouns. These are nouns that you cannot perceive with your 5 senses. Some of the examples are love, belief, and pride. Next one, countable nouns. These are nouns that can be counted. Example, apples, pens, and so on. Next one, we have the uncountable nouns or mass nouns. These are nouns that cannot be counted. Example, sugar, coffee, milk, and hair. Next one, compound nouns. These are two or more words combined together to come up with a new word. Some of the examples are sunflower, we have the sun and the flower. Best friend, best and friend. Textbook, text and book. Next one, possessive nouns. It shows possession. Example, Len's bag. And then, daddy's girl. Next one, we have collective nouns. It refers to a group of things which named as one. Example, troop, colony, class, and family. Then lastly, we have concrete nouns. These are things that can be perceived with your five senses. These are the things that you can touch, smell, see, etc. Since we are done discussing the different types of noun, let us read the following sentences. Number 1, the class waits for its teacher quietly. Number 2, we can't imagine the courage it took to do that. Number 3, postman's bags are made of leather. Let's identify the nouns and its type. For the first one, the noun that we use is class, and it will fall under collective nouns. Next one, the noun that we use is courage. It is under abstract nouns. And lastly, we have postman's. It will fall under possessive nouns. Lastly, we have adverb. We have adverb of manner, place, time, and frequency. Let's start with the adverb of manner. It tells us how an action is done. Quietly, slowly, easily, quickly, well. Then we have adverb of place. It tells us where the action happens. Is it above, below, behind, there, or towards? Then we have adverb of time, which tells us when the action happens. We have now, later, yet, already, and today. Lastly, we have adverb of frequency, which tells us how often. Is it always, sometimes, rarely, often, and never? So let us read the following sentences. Her English is fluent. She speaks English fluently. For the first sentence, our adverb is fluently. It describes how she speaks English. Next, my neighbor is a careless driver. He drives carelessly. Our adverb is carelessly. Then lastly, the girl clumsily spilled the iced tea. Our adverb is clumsy. Since we are done discussing adverb, modal verb, and noun, let us try this practice. Get a paper and pencil, then start answering. First one, the team eagerly waited for their next opponent. Number 2, Len will buy a new dress next week. Number 3, Keith can dance gracefully. So by applying what you have learned, you can now identify the noun, the modal verb, and adverb. Thank you so much for listening. Again, we discussed modal verbs, nouns, and adverbs. This video will not be possible without the aid of DepEd Marikina's provided module. Credits go to its writer. Again, this is Teacher Len and have a nice day.